Good morning, everybody. Today I am sharing a Simplicity Made Simple video here, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about how you can simplify your grocery shopping. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get over a cold. Sorry about that. Anyway, grocery shopping is something that can be really stressful and really time consuming. It can also be expensive. And for those reasons, a lot of people really don't like doing it. I used to hate it. I grew up hating going grocery shopping with my family. It felt like such a chore, but now I actually really like it. And part of that is recognizing that when you are excited about the food that you're going to make, you can be excited about going and picking it out. So when I first started making food for myself using real foods, not just things out of a box, I got a lot more excited about grocery shopping because then I could pick out, the vegetables that I was going to use, the grains that I was going to use, the protein that I was going to use. And it just got to be a lot more fun because I could try new things. I could see, what they had at the store. I could try new recipes, and it was just a lot more enjoyable than going in and walking down every single aisle and just thinking, well, what sounds good? What do I want? I don't have anything at home. And then getting home and still feeling like I had nothing to make. So I want to share my top tips with you for making your grocery shopping easier, faster, and less expensive. You ready? Okay, so number one is to do your kitchen inventory. So know what you have on hand and start with that. Because if you don't know what you have, there's some other things that can happen. Food might go bad because you forgot that you had it, and I don't know about you, but I feel really bad when I have to throw food away because it just feels really wasteful. So if you do a kitchen inventory, you'll know what you have on hand so that you can use it instead of wasting it. You also will save yourself from buying duplicates because you won't have to get it at the store if you know that you have it at home. And the opposite is also true. You won't forget to get something at the store because you thought you had it at home only to come home and find out, whoops, I didn't actually have that. And now you're short an ingredient to make something. So do your kitchen inventory, know what you have, and that can just really help you keep, especially your pantry, but even some kitchen or some essential ingredients in like the fridge and the freezer too. Keep them at a manageable level so that you always have some basic staples on hand, which can also help when you're pressed for time or when you don't get to the grocery store like you planned. So that can be really helpful. And then meal plan. Have a plan for what you're going to make because this is what allows you to go to the grocery store and spend less time. You won't have to wander down every aisle if you know what you're looking for. And it will help you put together a grocery list, which is the next thing. Always, always, always go in with a list. You guys, that is the single most important thing. I am such a big proponent of it. I don't go to the grocery store without a list. And if it's more than like 3 items, I have to have it written down. I have an app that I really like. It's called Grocery IQ. It lets you save descriptions, sizes, quantities, price, so that when you're putting your list together, you can know exactly how much of what ingredient you need and how much that's going to cost you, which can really help with budgeting for your grocery list, which is really important because it can take away a lot of that stress about spending too much money. Another thing that helps with that is sticking to that list. So when you put a grocery list together and you go to the store with that list, you need to stick to that list. Don't weave down every aisle and look and see what looks good, picking out extra things. Stick to your list. You will waste less food because you're only buying what you're planning on making and eating. You will curb those impulse buys, and a lot of those things aren't the healthiest options anyway. At least that's what I found for myself. And it will really help cut down that extra spending because you're sticking to a list, especially if you can put a list together with those prices. And so it'll help you stick to a budget. And then it'll be so much faster because you're not just wandering through the grocery store. And another thing that you can do when you are meal planning and grocery shopping is figuring out if you can grocery shop a little bit less frequently, at least for some of those staple ingredients. So you wouldn't have to be going to the grocery store quite as often. And when you're meal planning, you can go maybe once a week, once every week and a half, however you can figure that out. A lot of that depends on some of that fresh food, like produce, because it only keeps for so long. But you don't have to go every like couple days when you're just thinking, oh, what do we want to make for dinner? Okay, let's go to the store and get those things. That takes a lot more time and a lot more energy. So if you meal plan up front, you can plan for a week, 2 weeks, a month. You can plan for a few months at a time, and then plan out your grocery shopping so that you can get all of the things that you need, especially those staple things, less frequently. You can just take bigger trips and get all of those staple ingredients, and then you might only need to go to the store to get some fresh produce in between there. It'll take so much less time, so much less effort. It'll fit into your busy schedule a lot better, I promise. And one more tip that fits in with that, something that I've been trying out recently and really liking, is ordering groceries online. And depending on where you live and what stores you shop at, you can either order groceries and have them delivered to your home, something like Amazon Prime or a grocery delivery service, or you can order through a store and pick it up at the store. And many of those have you just pick a time slot and you just drive up after you've placed your online order, and they bring the groceries right out to you. They help you load them into the car. It's super fast, super easy. I'm really liking it. So if you're crunched for time, that can be really helpful too. You can just place your order online when you have time. And again, going into that grocery shopping experience with a list based on your meal plan so that you don't get too crazy. And after having done your kitchen inventory so that you know what you have, so you're not buying duplicates or forgetting to buy ingredients. And if you want, one thing that I've also found helpful for me, especially with the budgeting aspect, is doing a price comparison or a price tracker. So for things that you're not quite sure about cost-wise at one location, you can compare them between stores. So you just write down like the name of the item, the quantity, and the cost for like a specific store. And then you can compare it to other things. So you can look at a few different grocery stores, you can look online, all kinds of things, and just compare those different prices. The unit price, you want to make sure that you're comparing, price per ounce or something so that it's even and you can do a fair comparison. But that can be really helpful for figuring out if you're getting the best deal. And of course, you can always use coupons if that's your thing. So just consider some of those things. Again, I'm a huge fan of meal planning and prepping and going to the grocery store with a list. And so I have actually put together some free printables for you guys. There's a monthly meal planning sheet and an example one that's done for you. There's a kitchen inventory, there's a grocery list, and there's a price tracker. And they're all just free printables that you can get. I will put the link in the description, but these kinds of things have really just transformed the way that I grocery shop. And it went from being like a 2-hour ordeal with my family growing up, no joke, to maybe half an hour. And it's just so much easier. And if I order online and pick it up at the store, it takes about 5 minutes at the store. It takes a little bit of time to put the online order together, of course, but you can save favorites, and doing it on your phone doesn't feel like it takes as much time. So consider those options. Consider what it would look like for your life to be transformed in that way, and grab those free printables and let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you. As always, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. I would love to follow up with you and continue chatting with you about this topic. And if there's anything else you would like for me to cover, I am always open to your suggestions. That is it for today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye.